not at night, without a dive boat. That's really dangerous. What did you make of it when you saw this?
Exactly that. I mean, I'm a master diver. There's nobody around there with a dive boat, with a dive flag, anything like that. I like to dive at night. Some people go lobster diving. It is still possible. This particular one, we haven't had time even to get out there to go check this out in the field. But you start looking at, you know, the number of sightings that people are having in these locations, and you know, putting it all together, it just doesn't make sense that so many people, you know, are unable to. I don't know. The UFO thing has been, you know, always people focusing in the sky, right? And so it's kind of like now that we're shifting to USOs, a lot of people are wondering if this is a new phenomenon or not, and it really is not. You know, it's the submerged objects have been since the beginning. You know, when we started reporting, remember we had these pilots that were seeing them in the water off of Catalina, and air traffic controllers were telling us that pilots were witnessing this glow, sometimes the size of a city. You know, so here you have this Fort Lauderdale case. It's a lot smaller, but you know, it's really hard to say whether we're looking at a natural phenomena. These definitely not like phosphorus and algae. It's nothing like that, and it definitely doesn't explain how people are seeing the objects come up out of the water and zip out, and these huge like flaps have been going on for decades.
And then the ones that dive back into the water and don't even make a splash, which is also, it just gives the, you know, makes the hair on my neck stand on end. Again, I just want to go back to these pictures. No, okay, not divers, but is it possible? Well, first of all, have we seen any, you know, plausible explanations surfacing? Like, well, this could be the military testing out new technology. This could be all sorts of stuff that we're not supposed to be seeing. Could be the enemy, although I doubt the enemy wants to be seen like this. But any plausible stuff that you've seen surface?
In this particular case, we really haven't had a chance, no pun intended, to dive into it yet. But this is just an example, like I said, of something that is much bigger, where I've had numerous cases where people are telling us have been out in the boat, they've been far away from shore, which again would be much more difficult to be just divers. And they've passed over areas about the size of a football field. And it's like somebody turns on a switch and the whole thing just lights up underneath them, right? And then you mentioned the fact too that some of them, like we have the USS Omaha case caught on thermal camera, where we have this trans-medium travel where they go into the water, don't seem to disturb it, come up out of the water, sometimes in broad daylight, right? So something is traveling back and forth. You remember Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet, who's been on the show before. He testified in front of Congress about a Navy program that they're calling the fast movers, right? And the fast movers, they detect and track these objects that travel faster than any torpedo should or could, you know, perhaps over 100 miles an hour. Right. And so you've got the fast ones, you have ones that kind of just linger there, huge, kind of like the size of a city. These guys, I think, were really afraid because they didn't know, should we actually drive over it? What's going to happen if we do? Is it going to take us down, suck us in?